We've got some breaking news. Disney just announced a new CEO. And no, it's not a legendary creative. It's not a Hollywood whisperer. It's not the restore the magic guy. It's the parks guy. Josh D'Amaro. Did I say that right? Josh D'Amaro is officially the next CEO effective March 18th, 2026. While Bob Iger sticks around as senior advisor until he fully retires at the end of 2026. And if that sounds familiar, yeah, we've seen this movie. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and a humble thank you. Thank you for your support over the last couple of years as I've gone on this YouTube journey. And if you're new here, congrats. You picked a wild day to tune in and join. Real quick for everyone, YouTube loves engagement, so if you would, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of billion-dollar brands making billion-dollar decisions that make no sense. All right, let's break down what Disney actually did here, why they did it, and why this could be Chapek 2.0, just with better hair and a nicer smile. So here we go. Josh D'Amaro becomes new CEO of Disney effective March 18th after their annual meeting. Bob Iger is going to transition into a senior advisor role and stay through the end of the year, the end of 2026. And Dana Walden gets a new mega title, President and Chief Creative Officer. Now, this newly created enterprise-wide role reports directly to D'Amaro himself. Now, I'm going to translate this for you so you'll understand a little bit better. Disney's trying to do a balancing act here. They're trying to balance Parks and Operations CEO with a Hollywood content power center. Because, say it with me, Disney parks don't sell themselves. They sell characters, stories, and new IP people actually care about. So this begs the question, why did the parks guy get the keys to the kingdom? I mean, Disney didn't pick D'Amaro because he's a genius storyteller. They picked him because parks are the profit engine. Disney's own Q1 fiscal year 26 earnings show it. Company revenue was $26 billion, up 5%, adjusted EPS of $1.63. Experiences posted record quarterly revenue of $10 billion and operating income of $3.3 billion. Entertainment operating income dropped to $1.1 billion. And sports, that's ESPN, operating income was $191 million, and the YouTube TV dispute hit them for about $110 million. Streaming operating income hit $450 million. So the board, they looked at the numbers and went, who runs the division keeping the ship afloat here? And the answer was, well, it's the parks guy. Also, FYI, his division did $36 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2025 and employs 185,000 people globally. That's not just a segment, that's a small country. Now, here's where the alarm bells start ringing. Disney's last Parks to CEO experiment was Bob Chapek. And that didn't end with fireworks. That ended with a boardroom trapdoor and Iger parachuting back in like, somehow Palpatine returned. The core problem last time was parks thinking doesn't always translate to Hollywood relationships and creative politics. So Disney tries to solve that this time by giving Walden a super role that basically screams, please don't let the creative community riot. Here's the other issue we have. D'Amaro isn't coming in as the affordable family magic guy. His parks era has been defined by premium pricing, upcharges, and monetizing the air you breathe. There's a widely circulated quote attributed to him in reporting around 2022 where rising prices were described as the inevitable result of progress. And look, Disney fans don't get mad because the castle is expensive. They get mad because it's expensive and they feel nickeled and dimed. I'll give you an example here. Disney's Lightning Lane Premier Pass has been reported as costing up to $449 per person per day, depending on timing and park. And even the Wall Street Journal has reported internal concerns about price hike dependence and limits on what middle-class families will tolerate. So the big question is this: is Disney appointing a CEO who's going to fix goodwill, or a CEO who's going to optimize revenue per guest until the guest becomes an endangered species? Let's talk about Walden's new position. Disney basically created a role designed to say, content still matters, please don't leave. And Walden has real creative world credibility. But her name has also been tangled up in political media drama, especially around ABC's ecosystem. For example, in September 25, Disney temporarily pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air after backlash over comments related to the murder of Charlie Kirk. And Reuters reported Walden and Iger were directly involved in the decision. Then later, Kimmel publicly praised Walden as a potential CEO pick at Bloomberg Screen Time Conference, per reports from Business Insider. Also, Walden's longtime friendship with Kamala Harris has been reported and discussed in entertainment media. Now, am I saying that's the reason she didn't get CEO? No. Boards rarely admit that part out loud. But Disney did pick a safer operational bet and then handed Walden the creative keys and a separate title, so they clearly wanted both: Parks Profit Discipline, Hollywood Relationship Insurance. And now the cherry on top: compensation. Tomorrow's reported CEO pay includes a $2.5 million base salary with long-term incentives around $26.3 million per year. Boy, I'd like to have his salary. And Walden's base salary in the new role has been reported around $3.75 million. So yes, Disney found a way to make the CEO job look like the budget option. And some outlets have estimated total comp packages around $38 million for Tomorrow and $24 million for Walden. So here's the scoreboard. This is where we're at. Disney picked the guy running the only segment that feels like a guaranteed ATM right now. They tried to avoid repeating the Chapek mistake by elevating a content power center alongside him. And they're walking into an era where politics, streaming disruption, and AI are all crashing into entertainment at the same time. My take? Well, this is either going to be a disciplined reset where Park funds the turnaround, Walden stabilizes content, and Disney becomes a machine again, or it's going to become Chapek 2.0, where the Parks mindset tries to run Hollywood, the creative side rebels, and the board ends up calling Iger like, hey, Bob, you up? So here's what I'm watching. Do Parks pricing and guest sentiment improve or get squeezed harder? Does Walden actually get real authority, or is she just the creative shield? Can Disney generate new IP that feeds the Parks pipeline again, not just sequels and nostalgia? If you want a follow-up video breaking down what Tomorrow actually has to fix first, comment Chapek 2.0 down below. And as always, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. And with that, I'm the Critical Nerd, and I will see you in the next one.